fucking microphone muted you. Don't unmute your fucking microphone. No one wants to hear your fucking pre-show bullshit. Living in your hobo trailer. Can't hang a flag up. No decor in the background.
Nobody can fucking hear you. You're just in there running your cocksucker during our beautiful introduction, and now you're muted because you fucked up because you unmuted yourself to run your cocksucker.
My name's Hugh.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up,
Hi,
man? Long time no fucking see.
Yeah, right? It's been a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a couple weeks. No big deal. How's the dumpster fire 2021 going for you?
I'm so incredibly stressed out. I want to cry every day.
Oh, okay. So you're drinking more then.
Yes.
That's great.
Oh, God.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Liberty Risk Podcast. I'm Billy.
And I'm Hugh.
And I'm Meg.
Meg!
I'm here today.
Meg, you're
Only
about to
for a
fall.
little bit.
You're about to fall the fuck asleep, aren't you?
I'm very tired right now.
You look like you're about to pass out. You look like your parents took you to a baseball game that you didn't want to go to, and you're trying to make it to the 7th inning stretch, but it's like the bottom of the 3rd.
And then they like get extra innings, so we're now in like the top of the
you're like,
ninth or something.
Thank God, we're about to go. And then it's like the bottom of the 9th. They rack up 3 extra, what do they call them? Bats? 3 extra
runs.
Thank you. 3 extra runs.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Wow, that's
dear sweet baby Jesus. When
painful.
You know the worst part is it's I don't not know.
How'd you not? You swung the bat.
They get
the bats.
They
Did they get the bats?
Yeah.
Fuck, do you not know that?
I don't not know about sports, but I didn't grow up learning like the cacophony of information that's available. So every now and again, I'm like, what's that word again? I haven't watched it in so long. People are like, how do you not know? Like, well, I don't sit around watching statistics channels all day. Guy who can't change his own oil.
So
I bet you watch basketball and you're like, oh, they got a touchdown.
I don't watch basketball because I understand that they work out and I understand that there's a lot of drills and all that. But when the camera's on them and they're all sweating their asses off, I'm like, well, you would sweat too if 30,000 mouth breathers in a closed building were huffing and puffing for 90 minutes while you did wind sprints back and forth.
As Hugh shuts the fucking lights off and he's like, I love the sweating. Oh God.
Nah. I just look at him like I'm not impressed. You know what I am impressed about while we're talking about sports? What I am impressed about? No, I am impressed that Tom Brady has been in the NFC for 1 year and already has a playoff game win, and the Dallas Cowboys have been in the NFC since 1995 and have none. If I read that meme correctly.
Facts.
That's some tea right there.
So I absolutely love our viewers, especially when Jeannie puts fucking comments like this.
What'd she say? I'm off my band, bitches. So in case we didn't say it to those who don't know, Jeannie runs Military Chive Nation. And for somebody's birthday, she made a joke that you should send him butthole pictures as a birthday gift. And apparently somebody went online and found a Getty image of a butthole and posted it. And it got Jeannie as an admin for the page banned for 30 days. Now, I think that would be the end of the story. But wait, there's more. This dumpster fire of an individual went and created a fake account to try to continue to run her page and then added a bunch of people back. So I was like, whatever, or it's a troll. But apparently her fiance's troll level is significantly higher than hers because he was telling people silently not to add her and that it was a fake account.
Yep, yeah. He did good. He did good by it.
He did good. Awesome. Oh, yeah, we salute you, Caleb.
Yeah, you crazy son of a bitch. So Meg, Thursday is a big day for us here at Liberty Risk. You excited? You want to tell everyone what's going on?
Yes. So Thursday is going to be our ladies takeover Liberty Risk. I have a super special guest. I'm really excited to have her on. Her name is Melissa Trachtenberg. I know that's like a super big name. And
wait a minute.
Trachtenberg. I had to actually look her up because it just said Trach in her email, and I was like, that's not her whole name. And I had to look in depth into it. So
phenomenal name.
She is a mental health counselor, and she specializes in grief counseling. So when she comes on, we're going to talk about all different kinds of grief that people go through and specific ones to the military as well. She worked for Promise Pathways, which we already had the owner of Promise Pathways on, Stephanie Kalachi. And so they work alongside each other as kind of our mental health assistants for the show. And yeah, I'm super excited to talk to her about kind of the darker side of mental health and overcoming some of those emotions.
That's awesome.
It's important to talk about that kind of stuff because the pamphlet they give you at medical that just says drink Motrin and take water is
drink
not as effective.
Motrin.
How do you take your Motrin?
Change your socks, you'll be okay. Like that's cool. I really want to kill myself though. Like, yeah, but a fresh pair of socks.
They do telehealth. They do telehealth. We're such children. They do.
Oh, so great. I missed you, Meg.
They do telehealth. They are actually based out of Long Island. I think Melissa works for 2 companies actually for mental health. So she works for Promise Pathways, and the other one, give me one moment, and I will tell you.
We'll definitely have to hook them up with Hickstrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to like talk them into it, and I know their schedule is so busy right now, because there's not a lot of really good mental health counselors that are like really, really good. And specialize in certain methods. So at Promise Pathways, they have EMDR. I think they have ACT. I think or ACT. I think they have CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of them. I'm currently doing EMDR, and it's a really, really good method. It like uses your eyeballs to change your mind.
It's not EDMR, right?
No, and it's not EDM.
EMDR. Listen, the Navy has enough acronyms that I had to learn, and then I go on deployment. I worked for the Army and Marines. They had new acronyms. Then I got into the VA, and they're like, "Here's our new list of acronyms," and I was like, "All right, well, I guess I don't need to know how to do anything else. I guess I just pay someone to tie my shoe."
Just me.
It's so funny. You know what's so funny? You had to add that on top, and then when I was a Master at Arms, when I first did that, we used all the old what they call the 10 codes. So it was like we had to use the acronyms plus the 10 codes. And then it was like, oh, yeah, there's a baby on fire in a tree next to a boat. I'm like, nope, that didn't sound right. Oh, my God. Okay, that's not good. I said the wrong thing. Sorry, dispatch. It's just a traffic stop.
Sorry. That was 10-4. What did I say?
Yeah, I didn't mean that. There's no babies anywhere. It's just a traffic stop. I apologize. Fuck, shit. But, yeah, no, that's why I don't miss the acronym bullshit part of the Navy at all. It's like that's done with that. So Meg, that's awesome. So we're gonna do this every Thursday for the rest of the year. And one Thursday a month for the rest of the year.
Well, this is news to me. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm tired. I had a fucking field day trying to get over here. We just squeezed this in. So I'm just going to look at the camera and just say, fuck you to my ex-wife because you're an asshole. Anyway, I hope you're watching.
Hopefully neither of your lawyers watch the show.
Yeah. So anyway, she's just she's special, as we say. She's very special. Yeah.
Very special lady.
So Meg, we're looking forward to seeing your show on Thursday, and thank you for coming on and giving us a preview of what's coming up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is preview right here.
That's the preview?
Yeah.
You're not going to freak yourself up at all for your guest? You don't need to.
No, I'll nice. I'll at least not have bags under my eyes.
Yeah, go get some sleep, Meg. We'll see you on Thursday at 7:30.
I will. See you guys.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.
Oh, it was nostalgic, Hugh.
It was nostalgic, like a throwback. Like
it was a throwback from last fucking month.
Yeah, which, seems so far away. I don't know if you know this or not, but our Capitol was stormed. So turns out the password is password.
The password is. You know what's so funny? I was watching the last Spider-Man movie. I don't know if you saw it, where he went in there and Tony Stark's security guy is helping him make a new suit in the fucking plane.
Yeah,
and he was like, what's the password to your phone? I need to get to your phone. He goes, it's password. He goes, no, what's the password to your phone? He goes. The password's spelled out. He goes, you're the head of security for the whole company. Are you serious? He goes, look, I just didn't have time to change it.
Yeah. that's exactly what that feels like.
It's such a good movie. Such a good movie.
Our guest tonight is Browne, Warrant Officer Browne. Very excited to have him on. He started a Facebook page and an Instagram, presumably with some help, because he started very small, 75 people, and now he's up to 1,700 in less than a year. And there's an entire community of cigar smoking sailors. And I love everything about every word that I just said there. They before COVID, they were pretty active, man. I mean, the group is still pretty active, but I mean, in person, they'd get together and smoke. It's if you ever went to one of their events, it just seemed like a bunch of your buddies just all showed up at your favorite bar, and they were the one bar in the city that allowed you to smoke inside. It's fantastic. So, Warrant Officer Browne, Billy, if you wouldn't mind, please and thank you.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
what's up, man?
What's up?
How we doing out there?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, you're in Northern California, right?
Yep.
So I'm up in Maine, and my current temperature is 35 degrees. Why don't you tell me what yours is so I can cry a little bit?
Like 60, 70, something like that.
God damn it! I couldn't get a job somewhere tropical. I couldn't get like a shipyard and like.
You chose Maine. No one forced you to go there.
I chose it because the other yards don't have this program. So I'm hoping after like a couple of years, there's like an opening and I can go to like San Diego or Miami.
No, because I'm not doing this podcast when you were there in Port Waimea with the fucking postcard background.
I was out Waimea for 3 months, and Billy used to just hate it because I would set it up on the balcony overlooking like the Channel Islands. You know, the sun was setting. It was perfect. It just made Billy so depressed.
Yeah.
It's nice out here, man. Definitely.
So, Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in the Navy, and then how you got started with Sailors and Sticks.
So I've been in 20 years now, doing that submarines the whole time. So been my whole career dealing with bubbleheads and doing the crazy shit that we do. And then Sailors and Sticks was started by a guy, Nick Church, and myself. He's also in the LDO community as well. He's a lieutenant. We both started it in his backyard. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we used to get together all the time, smoke, drink, do all sorts of crazy shit. And then we started looking at each other. We was like, we should do this for a lot of people, man. And came up with the name. He's very instrumental in the group, obviously helping me out as I'm traveling all over the place. And he's been killing it too. He works over out of Virginia. So we're based out of Virginia Beach. And been doing that since like you said, we started here in February. We had about 47 people when we started February. And then now we got 1,728, I think, was the count today when I looked at the group. So, we've been catching on like wildfire, and it's a lot of the community out there. There's a lot of guys that go hard for the group, and we appreciate that.
That's fantastic. Yeah, my our mutual friend Justin Fulp I show up at Makers one day.
Yeah.
And he's like on his phone like all the time. I was like, "Are you like, listen, man, this no homo or anything, but are you gonna spend some time with me? Like what? Like I had to go all the way out here to hang out with you." He's like, "All the way," and I'm like, "I know, it's down the road."
Right.
I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Bro, I just my buddy Brian started this group, Sailors and Sticks, and he was showing me, and I was like, I don't know why you're showing me. You know, you're just gonna add me in like 5 minutes. Just go ahead, let's do it." And it's super cool because it's like every day people are like, "Here's what I'm smoking and here's what I'm drinking," and then like 40 to 80 comments of what they liked about it, the flavor profiles, what it pairs nicely with, and then everyone else is like, if it's 11 o'clock and somebody's smoking and drinking, and then they're like, "Oh, here's what we're doing, and here's what we're doing, and here's what we're doing," and it's just a bunch of it. It's a really, really simple goal, a simple organization. Are you a sailor, and do you like cigars?
Yeah, we even let Coast Guard. We even let Coasties in too. So.
Oh, you let Coasties in too?
Oh,
okay.
That's cute.
That's cute, yeah.
Got to give them somewhere to go. They don't. I mean, they get picked on all the time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
it's the least that we could do. We did shut down the government a couple years ago and not pay them for a while. So, anyway, this is it's a little credit you can extend them. It's nice. And what is that? 1,700 members. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so we did something special for the 1,000th member. I mean, obviously we got to do it for the 2,000. I mean, this group is crazy too. They even paid for me to get a tramp stamp. So.
I heard about that. Please indulge with a word paint us a word picture.
So it's a submarine dolphins, and it's got like super tribal around it, and it's colored and everything else. So we did a podcast, we did a live stream, and we talked about it. And I was like, well, I bet you can't raise enough money for me to get it because I'm not getting it myself. And I wasn't doing it. But yeah, I had to pay up, man.
And you went and got it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's all on my lower back. It's huge too.
We did.
Really?
We did a charity event a few months back in
October.
Yeah, back in October, and we raised enough money. And Meg, who was just in here, actually shaved off Hugh's eyebrows on a live feed. Yeah, it was pretty funny because she didn't know what the fuck she was doing, so she nicked him. So he's like bleeding and shit. He's got no eyebrows.
Yeah, that's good. The lady who actually did our logo, she actually did the tattoo on my lower back. So we kind of
nice.
Too.
Nice.
That's awesome.
At least you can cover yours up. I had to walk around with the. It was looking rough. I mean, they're still not back all the way. I think this is one of those things I'm gonna have to deal with now. Is that I'll just have thin eyebrows, but my vanity will allow that. I think
he looked like a drag queen out of makeup. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we don't have a transplant, so that's good.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. At least it was classy and well done. At least at least it wasn't like a dick-shaped submarine or anything like that. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, they could have really screwed with you on that one.
So, I saw. Is that what you did for the 1,000th member? Was get the tramp stamp?
No, we did that for a separate. That was a whole separate thing. For 1,000 members, actually gave them stuff that they wanted. So we always do like prize giveaways or something. Our group's really been involved in the community. So for stuff like when the Bonhammer Shard had a fire, we raised $10,000 for that. We also did Submarine Veterans Club. They had an issue with one of their equipment, one of their ovens. They take a lot of care of sailors. So they do for Thanksgiving. They cook hundreds of turkeys for these sailors and stuff, and do Thanksgiving dinner for them. So one of their ovens were broken. We raised like $4,000 for that just to get them a new one. But when we do giveaways for the actual community, it goes back to the actual people. So the tramp stamp thing was just fun,
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen you guys are pretty involved with a couple different organizations, and it's not like willy-nilly or like a one and done. Like you're pretty heavily involved with like Pale Horse Coffee, which Billy loved so much when he had it the one time. He's now on a recurring order, have it shipped right to his house. I bought
T-shirts, coffee mugs.
Yeah, Mike's a good buddy of mine, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, when I saw that coffee mug that said "Coffee makes me less murdery," I was like, I have to give these people money every month. This is amazing.
And you guys are pretty heavily involved with Scallywag cigars, right?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of stuff with them, and they give us a good discount in the group. But there's always somebody in the group that's ordering from them all the time. So
yeah,
we take care of them, and they take care of us. So it's a mutual relationship. They're great people too.
It's nice to see that you're not just. It's not like a one and done kind of thing. There's a lot of recurring. It's creating a network, and it's creating a brotherhood and a family.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Very quickly was apparent in this group, going from 25, 35, 45 people up to 1,700 in under a year. And it's not like you're not trying to raise millions of dollars. You're not trying to, save the world. You're just trying to provide people a place to come and be like, hey man, everybody all right? Everybody's smoking,
and it's definitely helping a lot of people's mental health and stuff. So it's definitely a good thing for the community. And then we find out we know each other through a lot of other people too. So the community is real small once you get out there.
Yeah, for sure. Billy, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off a little bit ago.
Oh no, you're absolutely fine. So I was just going to ask, when did you find your love for cigars? Like when did you really like? Because my father's a cigar smoker, like,
right.
And he told me he had a very distinct memory of my great uncle. Yeah. He said it was the aroma. He said,
sure.
It was just that. He goes, I don't know what it was. I was 14. He remembers the day, what was going on. It was just really weird, but he's an avid cigar smoker.
Yeah. I think I was pretty young when I started. So like when I first joined the Navy, I was 17. And it was one of those things where you kind of just get into. But obviously, my paycheck was a lot smaller. So backwood is what you're smoking. Like you weren't smoking anything good, Black and Miles or some shit. Now you've been in for a while, so you find the stuff that you actually like. But one thing about the group that we talk about is whatever memory you attach with, or it doesn't have to be a pricey cigar. It's those memories you make with those friends. And if you like it, you like it. Who cares how much it costs? Same thing with the drink too. Like everybody likes to be a beer snob or whiskey snob, but it's like whatever you like is what you enjoy, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you get to find cigars in different styles and flavors going underway and pulling into port than you find back here in the States?
Yeah, it's different. So you find different stuff overseas, and then I mean the stuff that you smoke too, depending on how long you've been on the boat, it tastes different. Obviously with the amine and all that other shit. So it's just a different flavor palette when how long you keep them in the humidor, and then you could taste something, smoke it immediately, and then 3 years later it tastes something different.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I remember the first cigar I had, I was actually on deployment in 2010. It was Christmas, and I had no idea what compelled me to have it. I was out there with one of my chiefs, who's still a good buddy of mine today, and at the time she was a third class as well. And I had the one, and I remember not liking it, which is the weird part. I remember thinking, I was like, "No, I'm all right. I don't think it's gonna be for me." And I got back to the States, and for whatever reason, I was in the airport in Atlanta, flying home from deployment, and they used to have this tobacco shop that you could smoke in. Right. And I was like, all right, well, let's buy a few more of these. Maybe I was premature. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Now I got like 5 travel humidors, and I'm getting ready to go on Mob here in a few months. I got like all my herpidors are all set up to mail ahead of me so that I'm good to go. So
yeah, I got this one with me right now that I travel with all the time. So
that's fantastic.
I didn't know there was travel humidor.
Oh yeah, man.
That's crazy. Like my father's so happy because he's got all 5 kids out of the house. You know what I mean? And he was just like got all these projects. He bought his boat, and then I said, Dad, what's going to be the next big thing? And he's like, oh, I'm making a walk-in humidor. I was like,
that's awesome.
I was like, is Mom okay with that? He's like, I don't give a fuck. He goes, it's happening whether she's here or not for it. I'm gonna have one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you inhale? Awesome. Did you inhale the first time you smoked?
I think that I did. I think I accidentally inhaled, and I remember this other person. Oh, the now chief that we were smoking with, she didn't draw. She just puffed on it a little bit, but blew through the cigar.
Okay.
And so, like now looking back, I think that she didn't really want to smoke, but it was just more like the because it was. Our chief, who's a close friend of ours, like I said, and it was on Christmas, and it was both of our first deployment. And so maybe it was just like a kind of intimate bonding kind of thing, So I don't think that she smoked cigars. I think, she just liked the taste of the tobacco and like the being around the bonfire is not the right word. It's more like we set some old furniture on fire that nobody was using.
Yeah, that shit happens to a lot of people. And I think that's what I love about this group is that none of us are like judgmental. Usually when you walk into a cigar bar, there's a bunch of snobby people in there. Yeah. And they'll make fun of you if you do something wrong. But like this group's always been open about that. It's like, hey man, if you don't know, we'll teach you about them. And it's kind of one of those things that turn people off when you walk into a cigar bar. It's just a bunch of snobs and they're all assholes to you about the way you smoke or what you smoke. So it's just something different.
Yeah, Justin started smoking very recently, and I remember it was like almost overnight. Every time I go meet him at the bar, and now he's got like this huge humidor pack, and he's telling me about all these profiles and these flavors and what they pair nicely with. And I'm over here like, you've been doing this for a year. What did you learn? And he's like, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Bro, you got to get into this group. Check out this group, Sailors and Six. You got to check this out. I'm like, and I'm over here like, okay. Like, I like to smoke. I like to enjoy myself when I do. I'm, like most people, which I'm sure like you find what you like and that's what you like.
Right.
And Justin's level of passion, he's probably only like the 3rd person I've met who's got like that level of passion. But then I got into this group and like the way that these people talk about what they're drinking and how it pairs nicely with what they're smoking and like what they're eating. Like I've seen people talk about like how to pair a cigar with grilled chicken. Or if you're going to be eating like barbecue burgers, what's a really good after dinner cigar? And I'm like, what the fuck is an after dinner cigar? Does it come with like a bedside mint?
Oh, some of the conversations I have with my father, because I grew up on Long Island. So if you go out east on Long Island, there's just pretty much a quarter of Long Island is nothing but vineyards all the way out to the end of the island. So you can do what, it's called the hop. You can literally go to one of the first sets of vineyards and catch a bus. And what you do is you pay like $100 and they'll take you to what they call their tour chain. And you'll go to like 8 different vineyards. So what they started incorporating was cigars, and they'll pair them. So you'll get there, you'll pair them with different wines and different craft beer and different types of chocolate, different types of fruits and stuff like that.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. So I went with my pops about 2 years ago. It was hilarious. Not only did I smoke some amazing cigars, but we also got so fucked up that we had to Uber about an hour home because we were just trashed. So we show up without my mother's SUV, right? It's just reeking of cigar smoke. And my mother's like, what the fuck did you two do? And I'm just like, I don't remember anything after 5. I love you.
I love you.
But yeah, no, it was actually a really cool experience because going through that, it was, they bring out these boxes of cigars and they're like, okay, and then they have a menu and this pairs with this and this pairs with this wine and this beer and this chocolate and this fruit. And it was really crazy to how the flavors all enhanced each other just from the cigar. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of places like that. They've been incorporating that stuff. And we talk about in the group, like you said, whatever you're making, eating, or whatever you're drinking. There's high levels of taste in our group. And then there's guys in our group that just drink Jim Beam, man, and don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. Just drink that
There's
shit.
also guys that smoke acid cigars. And I will never ask you to leave.
I don't know why people hate on them so much, man. I'm like, whatever.
No wonder what other slightly off kilter things that you do in life. I don't know what it's not. I had it one time, and I remember my buddy was like raving about them, and I was like, all right, cool. I never had one. And I had one, and I was like, just can't get off my tongue.
Yeah, they're not my jam, but I know that there's guys in the group that like them, and everybody fucks with them about it, but.
I'm gonna put this cigar meme up that Justin posted. When did he post this? Yesterday at 5:24. I'm calling him out on the exact fucking down to the minute on this one. But he posted this yesterday.
Some people hate Trump, some people hate Biden, but everyone hates America. I think that's the one that I commented on. I did. Yeah. There's my response there.
I don't know about them either. I mean, there's some Gurkhas I actually like, man, but I mean, they're not a popular brand. I mean, there are a popular brand, but nobody who actually smokes cigars really likes them.
So I've had Justin shoot me some looks. Like I bought I like him. I like Monte Cristo.
I've heard him give you shit.
And I've gone in, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking around. Like, I haven't had this one before. I'm gonna grab this one. And Justin will be over there like, really? Bro, yes. Why? He's like, nothing. What do you drink? What are you drinking? You know what I'm drinking. I drink the one beer. Oh, okay.
He's so passive aggressive. It's such a dick.
He is, but he's very passionate about it too. So he's like over there, like I can see like that meme where the actress has got like all the algebra and the calculus and whatnot over her face. Like I can see that's him with like the beer that I'm drinking and the food that he knows I already ate. And like the type of toothpaste I use and whether or not that cigar is going to work for it.
So do you have like a go-to, like a daily, like something you always pick up that you just have to have?
I got a few. There's anything by my father. So like they make a few good ones. The Judge is one of my favorite ones. And then there's a brand called Sinistro, and they got this one called Honor Among Thieves. It's really good. I've been smoking that a lot this past year. And then, those are probably my two go-tos. Like I'll always smoke those. I won't care. And I mean, some people won't ever go out of their brands that they like, but I'll definitely pick those two up anytime.
Nice. So at the beginning of last year, February, March, and I think it wasn't really until I think it wasn't really until like May when the government was like, no leaving the house for all military.
Right.
You guys were still, I don't want to say right up until they said hell no, but for part of the beginning of the year, you guys were still getting together and smoking and meeting up and whatnot.
Yeah, we were doing stuff like that, small stuff here and there. Nick and I finally got off our ass and did something with the group. To be honest with you, and we tell everybody this, we kind of sat on it for a little bit and didn't really do much with it. But yeah, once we got locked in the house, it was kind of, all right, well, I guess we might have anything else to do something. Yeah.
So, but at that time, so like you said, you were locked in your home and you didn't have anything else to do. Did you notice not only with the increase in members, but I want to say like also an increase in traffic, because obviously that's the way that it is. But just because you couldn't meet face to face, did you see a correlation that these people were also still connecting over Facebook and Instagram and not deciding, well, if I couldn't meet you in person, I wasn't going to engage in this group?
Yeah, that's something that Nick and I talk about all the time, is that I think that was kind of a blessing in disguise for us with all the bullshit that went on last year, was that everybody was glued to their phone. Everybody was stuck at home, right? A lot of the stuff that you could do, you couldn't. So people were like, well, if I don't smoke, I'm going to start smoking now. And then there's a group here and I could talk to everyone. So that's kind of, and we even did a lot of virtual shit too. So we would do a Facebook group or whatever, or we'd get in Zoom and we'd all smoke together and just virtual smoke out too. So we were doing that for a while too.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta look into getting like one of those window mounted exhaust thingies like right here, so that I can sit in here in the warmth and smoke. Maybe that'll be a project for me over the next couple of weeks.
Or you could just pull your tampon out and just crack the fucking window.
I could that. Punk-ass bitch.
I'm just saying, you CBs are supposed to be all tough and shit. I'm just fucking.
No, we are not. No, we have the one movie and it's a propaganda film. I haven't even seen it. Like, I know it's so bad I haven't even seen it. I catch grief for it all the time, but whatever. Yeah.
Billy, you have a favorite cigar memory?
Who, me?
Yep.
So actually, I do. I never really. So I grew up in a very Italian household.
Okay.
Your stereotypical Long Island, New York City Italian household. And when I grew up, I was born in '82, so it was still, I was still that generation of kids. It was, we left the house and just fucking be back for dinner, or when the street lights pop on, our parents just let us go and do whatever. But my uncles, my cousins, they would all sit around the table after dinner and they would play cards and smoke cigars. So my dad was always really weird about like, don't do nothing till you're 18, don't drink till you're 21. But I came home from leave and I'm sitting at the table with my pops and I can't remember. My buddy gave me a cigar to take home. I can't even remember which one what it was. And I was pulling my stuff out of my bag and my dad's like, "What's that?" He goes, "You smoke cigars?" I was like, "Oh, my buddy gave it to me." But it was actually really cool. My pops kicked on some Led Zeppelin, poured some really fucking expensive scotch, pulled out one of his cigars, and he said, "Don't smoke that, smoke this." And we just sat on the back porch and just fucking had a cigar together. And that was from that. It was just awesome. It was, and I think for him too, being the firstborn, and being his son, it was something special for him too. It was pretty cool. Cause I remember my mom came out, she's like, "Oh, really? You too?" And he's just like, "If you want to sleep here tonight, you're going to go back inside and leave us alone."
That's like the quintessential Italian upbringing experience. Is it's either your first time, like one of those like the first time doing something with your old man.
Yeah.
For him to be like, oh look, I've hated you up until this point, but now it's time to bond. That's the rule of the old country. It was
a cool experience, and it sticks. It really does stick out in my head. My brother too. My brother almost kind of the same thing. He he came back from college and was hanging out with one of his buddies, and they were sitting on the back patio at my parents' house, and they were smoking a cigar. And my dad was like, "Oh, okay, all right,
you too,
shit.
You too.
I
love you now.
I'll be right back." My dad brings out this fucking box. He calls it the Holy Grail. It's like this box of cigars. My dad travels all over the world for his
Okay.
job. So he's always legally getting cigars back into the United States. Yeah, we'll say that. That's what he tells me. He goes, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
So he has this box he calls the Holy Grail, this humidor, and he always pulls it out, and he's like, huh. And he does this stupid thing, but it's funny to me. He goes, goes hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of tobacco. It's a pretty special box. And I'm just like, just fucking pick one, you piece of shit. like you do that every time. Like we know it's the same story. Like you see now,
it's the routine, it's the tradition. It's part of the ritual.
But
yeah, you don't even remember what you smoked, but you always remember the memory. And
it's not even just that one time I had my technically my first cigar with my pops, but I also remember watching as a kid, watching my dad and my uncles and my cousins. That was their time to relax and just forget about shit and socialize, is when they got the cigars out, got the cards, poured a little drink, and everyone else we just left them alone, right. And that meant a lot to him too, So no, it's definitely an awesome way to socialize and bond, especially through the military. Right. With all the hectic bullshit we do, especially you sub guys, fucking going ghost for months at a time. And, only time I've seen a sub is when you guys are fucking pulling back in a port.
Yeah, that getting a smoke on the bridge is one of the best experiences you can ever get. So,
for those of us who don't know what in the hell any of those words mean.
Okay.
Can you tell us what the bridge is on the sub?
Okay, so if you look at a picture of a submarine, it's the very top of it where you see people that climb up this ladder, and there's always like at least 4 or 5 people up there. It gets packed, right? But yeah, you're that actually get an outside view to the world, and everybody else is stuck on that steel tube sucking air. So
all I'm hearing from you, sir, is rank has its privileges. Is that what
not always. Sometimes there's the most junior guy on board that's up there too.
No, I know. I
did not know that. That's pretty cool. So it's not only the people who need to go up there or the people who got permission kind of thing. Like you can request permission to go up there and smoke or look around, or is it like a rotation for?
Yeah, so you can request permission to go up there, but usually the guy standing lookout up there has been in the Navy since breakfast, so he doesn't know any fucking thing. So he's sitting up there, but he gets to hang out and gets to see the outside world. While, like I said, everybody's stuck on that metal tube, just hanging out.
Even though he's not looking at fuck all except for the ocean, it's probably nice. Like tastes different up here.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a
That's
surface
good, you shouldn't lie.
surface engineer, and then I crossed over to MA back in 2003 when my rate was so flooded because they were getting rid of the old diesel Navy, and I was a gas turbine guy when I first came in, and then they flooded our rate. So I remember being a junior sailor and ripping on the sub guys, and then I got stationed in Groton, and I watched one of the subs pull in, and I was chief of the guard because I was E5 at the time, and I'm out there doing all the security stuff, and just watching you guys coming out of the sub, and I'm like, I have so much fucking respect for you, fucking. I couldn't fucking do it. There's no fucking way. I don't know how you guys do it. Like
what were you in Groton?
I retired out of Groton in 2015, so I was there from 12 to 15.
Okay, so you and I were there around the same time then.
Yeah.
It's all fucking world, man. There it is again.
Actually, if we were there at the same time, you remember when we went from the patrol cars to the pickup trucks, those Dodge Ram? Yep,
okay.
I was there. I got there right after. I was actually helping phase out the old Impala patrol vehicles and picking up those new Dodge Rams.
Yeah, I was on the Miami and Virginia at that time.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I was up there for when Sandy hit, and that was fucking crazy because they actually had all the subs. They all had to leave port because I forget which. I want to say it was the Dallas.
Okay, another boat that I've been on too.
Yep, the Dallas, which I'll talk to you offline about that. But there's reasons I love I love the USS Dallas. And I think you know where I'm going with that.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. Yeah. Anyway,
we'll keep that NDA going.
Yeah, I don't want to
We'll talk about that later.
The current events of the world. I don't need the fucking FBI knocking on the door. But when Sandy hit, I'm pretty sure it was the Dallas was one of the last ones in port, and the flooding was so bad that the Dallas actually came up on the river and went over the pier and came back.
Oh, shit.
It never. So what I'm saying is, if the water wasn't there and it receded quick enough, it would have landed right on the top of one of the fucking piers. That's how much the flooding was coming in.
For the history books.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. It was pretty intense there. And then they had the Nautilus. I went to go on the Nautilus when I was there, and that was fucking tiny fucking thing. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. I got a lot of respect for you sub guys.
Well, I'm short, so it's easy for me.
Yeah, I'm 6'4" and I'm well fed, so it's not fun.
I'll tell you how my dad did it back in 1984, 85. How much extra money? Okay. That was it. Yep.
Yes, please.
He was the entirety of his Navy career up until 1999. We transferred to Italy in 2000, in which he just went on the Emery S Land, which is a subtender. But up until then, he was on boats in and out of Bremerton and San Diego, and then the Trident training facility up there. But fucking extra money? Sure.
Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah. I was like, what happens if like something bad happens? He goes, well, very quickly, it doesn't become my problem. Oh, okay. It's a hell of a way to look at it. But I took that one. I'll tell you what, though, of all the advice I have forgotten my dad ever gave me, that was the one I took with me when I joined the Navy and went on deployment. It's like, listen, if something bad happens, very quickly, it's not your responsibility. Okay.
So
easy day. Yeah, so I know, right?
So
hold on, Brian. You're, pardon me. Sailors and Sticks is getting ready to branch off a little bit, isn't it?
Just for like, what do you mean?
You have Sirens and Sticks. I've seen some.
So,
I've seen some new stickers and gear.
Yeah, we just started doing that. Just something for the ladies here. That obviously, like people that are spouses or whatever want to be involved in the group somehow. We don't let them in the Sailors and Sticks group because that's just for us, right? But yeah, we just want to get them some stuff and make sure they feel a part of this community. But the Sailors and Sticks group is for us, so I don't want to make sure that people feel like they're being spied on by their significant other if
you're incorporating them, but you're not.
Right.
Well, isn't that like most organizations? You have a higher up, and then you start creating subgroups and whatnot. You want people to feel included. If their spouses and Sailors and Sticks, you want to be, and they love it, and it's part of who they are and their identity. You want them to feel included too. You want them to have something to hang their hat on. Like, oh, do you smoke? Oh, no, I don't, but I support so and so who does.
Right.
And that's always nice.
You guys
got the stickers and gear for that yet?
That's what we do with the merchandise and stuff. Is that we talk about anybody could buy the stuff, but as far as being in the actual group itself, Facebook stuff wise, it's all about like if you're a Coast Guard or if you're a sailor, you get to get in the group. But we just want to keep the community the way it is, and so we don't want to have it saturated with other stuff.
It's very, very quickly groups that have a specific vision and goal get saturated with other content that is not the purpose. And
right.
I'm in a couple CB groups, and every now and again somebody posts something that's just, and the admins tell them all the time, like, this is a CB group. We're here to talk about CBs and history and share and whatnot. And then every now and again, it's somebody posts a news article or a political opinion or something, and it's just like, come on, man, like exactly what's gonna happen right now.
Like some bullshit Etsy page or some stupid shit like that. Like,
oh yeah, like, oh hey, go support my friend's Etsy or my friend's Tupperware.
Yeah, we don't get on that vibe, and I think that's what a lot of people like about the group is that there is no stuff like that. So we want to keep it that way.
It's funny if you scroll through the photos, it's almost every one of them is the same exact photo. It's the hand holding the cigar with whatever they're drinking right there, and you just keep scrolling through the uploads, and it's like everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's on the same fucking page there, man.
Oh, it's awesome going through your social media feeds. I was sitting here. I like the one with Jack Nicklaus when he was in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it said he's sitting there with his white hat on, no shirt, looking like a crusty old sailor, smoking a fucking cigar, and I'm just like, yeah.
We had an ongoing debate about that, and like I want to see what you guys think is who's the most famous cigar smoker that you can think of.
Right off the top of my head, I'd say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Only because he's got that video when he was younger, and the guy was like, how does your wife feel about you smoking at home? And he's like, listen, my wife's father smokes, and I smoke, and I'm close to their father, so what is she going to do? Tell me not to smoke? It's like telling her dad not to smoke. And it was like, all right, well, probably couldn't have said that today, but it was pretty baller. And also,
that's a solid answer. I like that.
I'm actually going to say Winston Churchill.
Okay, that was a popular answer.
Yeah, well, for obvious reasons. The Churchill is now. I'm going to show my ignorance here. The Churchill is a length, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the Churchill is a length of cigar. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. Most famous cigar smoker. I think I would rank Chesty Puller up there, along with his dope ass quotes. There are a multitude of photos of him smoking.
I'm gonna be a total Italian piece of shit right now. I'm gonna say Al Capone.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a solid answer. I said George Burns, but like nobody.
George Burns. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. There's something about a photo of somebody famous with a cigar that, like, regardless of who they are or what they did, the photo just has a little bit more character.
Right.
Because it's not a cigarette. It's not a Virginia Slim. It's not a Marlboro, a Camel, a Cool. It's not a Lucky Strike. It's a cigar. And I tell people.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Well, I tell people two things. Thanks to our friend Matt, I tell people I've never said I'm not a hypocrite, but I'll be out there smoking a cigar and I'll see the kids smoking cigarettes and they'll be like, how long you been smoking? And we get into this discussion and whatnot. And I always, at some point or another, I'm like, you guys shouldn't smoke cigarettes. Like, you guys know they're bad for you. Like, that's in the entirety of what I'm going to say. And they're like, oh, well, B1, you're smoking a cigar. I'm like, yeah. This is a lifestyle habit. Or this is a lifestyle hobby. It's not a habit. It's a lifestyle choice. Right? It comes with information and knowledge and connections. It's who you are. It's an identity. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, I can do my PRT and slay all of you is what I'm talking about. And I'm not a slave to a little tiny 18-pack of sticks.
Yeah, it's a different vibe too, man. Cigars and cigarettes. So it's a different view.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cigarettes are just quick one and done, and it's move on.
Though I do got to give some credit to cigarettes. So I used cigarettes on my last deployment to get away from my chief. If I didn't want to be around him, I kept the packet of Marlboro Reds up the desk.
I don't know who's like this more, me or him.
If somebody else in the office knew that something wasn't going right between Chief and I, they would come up and ask if I want to have a smoke, and then we'd go out and so Marlboro Reds, you at least got me away from somebody I didn't really need to be around.
Yeah.
But in the evenings, like, I knew I was never going to be asked something to do because it was one of those situations. The leash too tight to the chest, didn't want to delegate. But if I was seen out there with a cigar, I was usually reading a book, and I knew I wasn't going to get bothered. So
he's a big micromanager.
What's that?
Big micromanager.
Yeah, didn't want to delegate the authority, but that kept him up to like 3 a.m. and we had to be at work by like 7:30. I was like, all right, listen, that's who you are. That's who you want to be, and that's on you, man. That's not going to be on me. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm sure those weren't the words you were choosing.
I never.
You said that so PC like.
Yeah, you were like, like you're reading from the fucking HR manual. Like, what the fuck?
I'm still in the reserve, and there's a statistical likelihood that eventually somebody in my unit is. And thankfully, I was with a different unit, but I know a lot of people. I've done 4 deployments with different people from different places. There's a possibility this video eventually gets back there, and I don't want to make it seem like I don't want to say something that in proportion. We didn't get along, and that was not even kind of a secret. But I knew that I would be left alone if I was smoking.
Sometimes people gotta know they suck, man. I mean,
that's true. They suck. I knew I would always be left alone if I was smoking. There was just something about it that I knew that I would never. I could be called from the gym. I would be woken up, and I was fine with that. And honestly, if he said throw your smoke out, we gotta go, I'd have been okay with that. But I knew that I would never get bothered while I was smoking. So not only thank you to Marlboro Reds, Marlboro give me free shit. But, thank you to Cigars.
Oh, give me free shit.
Yeah, thank you also to Cigars for taking up 45 minutes to an hour and a half of my evening for 6.5 straight months. I appreciate that.
Oh no, it's the atmosphere going to the smoke deck to have a cigarette to sitting around with your buddy and having a cigar is it's night and day. It's night and day.
You walk into a room of everybody smoking cigars and just notice it's drastically different than people smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a total different vibe.
There's a calm. There's this peace and calm.
They're in and out. They're in and out. They're in and out. Like they're like, there's always a fidget thing going. Because it's 5 minutes of deep breathing, which does a lot of people a lot of good. But like once they're done, they're done. But then people with the cigar are like,
yeah, because you're not in a rush, man.
Little head nods. You're checking who's coming in. You're checking to see how they're gonna flow with the room and whatnot. And then after like 5 seconds or whatever, you're like, okay, we're good. And then you just go back to it. And as soon as you walk into a room of people smoking a cigar, you're like, oh my God, my team badge. It came out of fucking nowhere. Holy shit. Teamwork makes the dream work in this motherfucker.
I will say one thing I hated about the surface fleet, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna preempt this with all due respect. I hated when the khakis would come out to the smoke deck, and I was an engineer, so we'd be down in the engine room, fucking all what felt like all day and night. Our only time to see the sun, even in the surface fleet, was going topside to have a smoke. So I used to hate it. We had this one senior chief who would just go. I think he just went into the fucking chief's mess. He's like, all right, we're all gonna go smoke at the same time. He would walk out on the fucking smoke deck and he'd go, khaki call, everyone get the fuck out. What the
Wow, that's a dickhead move right there.
I was like, oh, okay.
That dude deserves to have his coffee mug cleaned.
He would do it once a week, and they'd fucking light up cigars. They would just sit out there for like 2 hours and just close the smoke pit down.
Well, listen, you said it. Rank has its privileges.
That's very true. That's very true.
Well, Brian, we appreciate you being here with us tonight. Talking about Sailors and Sticks. It's been a lot of fun being in the group, and I'm really looking forward to the world opening back up just a little bit more because the fundraisers, the crowdsourcing, the connections are all there, and it's going to be really cool to see when you guys get back together for the first time. And I probably won't see it. There'll be a lot of smoke in the way, and sure. So
right.
I hope Maker's going to have to update those exhaust systems if they're going to be able to walk through that room anymore without tripping over anything.
Yeah, hopefully we get a good crowd out there next time.
Looking forward to it.
I'll try to come on. I'm only 2.5 hours south, so next time you guys have an event,
with enough heads up, I'll fly down for a weekend.
Yeah. We'll fucking make it happen. All right, Brian, thank you so much, man. It was
appreciate
awesome having you on the show, and hopefully we can get you back here, throughout the year, and give us updates on what's going on with the group.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, take it easy, brother. Have a good night.
I start my new job tomorrow. I might have a cigar tonight just to kind of like zen out a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie, I've drank a lot tonight, which is rare for me.
Well, you had a stressful day.
Yeah, it's
you had to go see your ex-wife,
which is usually it's fine, but then I don't like the little fuck games that get played every once in a while, and the kids are involved. It pisses me off too.
Yeah, it's fucking irritating. You shouldn't get the kids involved in dumb shit.
No. Yeah.
Lesson for today: don't get kids involved in dumb shit.
Yeah. So it just gets fucking annoying. But next Monday, I'm excited because Hugh, I'll give you one thing, Hugh. You make all these jokes that you just sit back and you don't really do anything. But you are the one. I got to give you props, bro. You're the one that's usually out there getting the fucking guests to come on the show, which I appreciate because I'm usually too fucking stressed out to do it. And then you're like, yo, what do you think of this? I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Let's do it, man. Like, we're good, dude. I trust you. But I'm excited because I'm going to have my boy Chris on next week. He's one of the co-founders, and he's the lead guitarist for a slam metal, so just total fucking heavy metal rock group called Internal Bleeding. They've been around for 30 years. They started off on Long Island. Me and Chris actually met, as crazy as it sounds, through fucking video games. So,
oh, that's right. For those of you that don't know, Billy's a huge gamer. Billy, what game you play?
So I'm on Xbox. If you want my gamer tag, you can message us. And actually, you know what? I'll fucking drop it in a post tomorrow if you guys want to get on. But I played The Division.
The Division. You've been playing it for so long. you've been playing for so long.
Yeah.
That so Billy tells me the story, and I'm sorry to steamroll here a little bit. Billy's playing with his buddies, and you're one of the younger ones in the group, right?
Yes, actually,
Group, right?
Chris is in his 50s.
Okay, so Billy's playing this game, and like all the kids are little cunts in video games, and they swear and they say shit they know that in person, like one swift kick to the head would fix it. So Billy's telling me the story. One of these kids is like, "Fuck you." And like swearing at him, and one of his clan members, who's like 10 years older than Billy, is like, "Go tell your mom I said to clean up the bed."
Yeah, it's just really bad. Yeah, it's just like, it's really bad the shit we say on there, but it's all a good fun. But for me, like with Sailors and Sticks, how you're involved with them, and I just recently joined that group too. But for me, that was my coping mechanism. And my therapy was to just immerse myself in the video games. And plus it afforded me an opportunity to talk to my buddies and stuff like that over the game. But yeah, no, I'm pretty involved. Like our clan's like one of in the top 200 in the world in the game, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that play this game. I mean, they hold huge events for this game every year. Ubisoft does.
But your buddy Chris, he's in this group. He's in this clan with you, right? Yeah,
he's in the clan with me, which is just a group of us within the game.
Yeah,
we get on there almost every single day. And it's not. I'm not on there. The crazy thing is when you think about gamers, it's like we're not on there for hours and hours, maybe 2 hours straight at the absolute most. I mean, sometimes it's just 30, 40 minutes and then just done. Sometimes go days, weeks without playing.
You met Chris in this game and then found out that he's in this fucking
rock
band.
So we got to talking through the game. We ran a couple of like what we call PvP, which is player versus player. So you're playing against other people throughout the world on different, what we call like the Euro server and stuff like that. And we're actually playing against guys in Germany, and we were just melting through them, and they were getting pissed off and saying some really sadistic Nazi shit to us probably, which I don't fucking understand, but it was cool. Whatever, it sounded cool. And we got to talking. I found out that he grew up literally like 2 towns away from where I grew up on Long Island, and he's in this fucking heavy metal band that's been touring for 30 plus years. Like I said, they're called Internal Bleeding, but they've toured with some big name. Like he did a full tour like in Japan, overseas. I mean, they've done everything, and he brings his influences from groups like Black Sabbath and stuff like that. And
you have to post a link to their band page.
Yeah, they actually have their own podcast. Him and one of the other guitarists, Chris. They call it the Smoke Sesh, which is really funny because my buddy Chris is a huge cigar smoker, and me and him are big bourbon lovers and whiskey drinkers. So I mean, he calls it the Smoke Sesh, and it's their band has a podcast every Saturday night at 5. But we're gonna bring him in on Monday. It's gonna be pretty fucking cool. I'm super stoked about it. He's just good people, into muscle cars, into just good, and it's not just the type of music that he plays. He has an appreciation for music in general. So it's going to be a pretty good show. I'm excited about it because it's my first guest that I'm actually bringing into the podcast. Because like I said,
that's awesome, Billy.
Yeah, so Hugh's usually the one that's doing all that shit. I just do all the computer nerd shit and make everything look pretty.
I might just sit here and fucking drink and look pretty then.
Yeah, we could do it. You deserve it, Hugh, and your fucking Hotel 6 camper.
It is a Hotel 6 camper. Look, I'll even give you guys a little tour if you're watching the show, or you just want to watch right at the fucking very end.
Oh,
This is my camper.
Fuck you, Guinness, you lazy bastard.
Hi, Guinness. Oh, I'm sorry, he was dreaming. Hi, Bobby, I love you. You see his tail go? Yeah, that's about the extent of his energy output for the day.
See, what's bad is I can't talk about my whiskey because then my dog's like, what, Dad? What? Huh?
Yeah.
What
are we doing? We're doing stuff? We're going?
Go back in the corner. Just go back to sleep. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm excited for Monday. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. See if he doesn't mind if I ask him to like play a riff or something.
He probably fucking will, dude. It'll be pretty bad.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Dude, you should ask him if he wants to play our new intro.
I will talk to him. I might be able to make that happen. But also, we are working on a bunch of stuff coming up. eventually we are going to hopefully have T-shirts and hoodies and coffee mugs and all that other good shit. So we're trying to get merchandise eventually. So just always be on the lookout for that. Remember, we do have our new website, which is right there on the bottom ticker at libertyriskpodcast.com. You can catch us on Apple and Spotify. The website's what I like to call a one and done. All our shows, all our social media, all our podcast sites are right there on the website. So that's the go-to link. So it's right there at the bottom. And then Thursday, don't forget to tune in at 7:30 because it's going to be our very first Ladies Take Over Liberty Risk, which if you go back and if you didn't catch it in the beginning, Meg was talking about it. She was in here with us for a little bit, which was nice to have her in here even for the 5 minutes because I think that's all I could tolerate. But we'll be back here next Monday with internal bleeding. Anything else that I'm forgetting you before we fucking
good, man?
You're so fucking just laid back, chill in that camper. Dude, like I'm kind of jealous, dude. Like it's just.
I mean, it's it's a little stressful because I only have so much space, but it's kind of like I've done some cleaning up and organizing, so we're getting there. It's nice.
You trying to like suppress your OCD and just fucking.
I just don't want things to not be where they belong. Okay, that's all it is.
Okay, so you could have just said yes was the answer to that question. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you guys next Monday at 7:30. Y'all have a good evening.
Night, everybody.
I got pissed so bad. I always need more scotch.